Hola, friends. Welcome to the listen video for Weight Changes Interrupted, where we look at the movements that we're using for the weight change interrupted, and importantly, how they fit on the music.
Let's get started.
Do you have a sense as they approach the embrace how they're embodying this light, peppy, d'arienzo music?
So never be afraid to connect with the music right away, even as it involves the murata and the cabeceo and taking up the embrace. All of it can be reflective of what you're hearing in the music. I like that. So if you notice, once again, wisely, Arjun has decided to start off our dance and connect within the partnership with a nice side traspie as opposed to immediately starting with progressing forward in the walk. It is a nice way to get started and get connected with your partner without the danger of possibly stepping on toes right at the very beginning.
We have the second element, the rebotes, rebound.
Notice how that part changed. We went from a very peppy upbeat, downbeat, if you will, to a nice easygoing violins come in. We're starting to get a little bit more lyrical. So if you notice, that's where we went from the in-place stationary movements of our weight changes interrupted to now a nice walk. It's how we reflected the fact that those violins were coming in.
That movement to fit the music.
Remember, with our halftime, we are using 4 beats per step. So not just the end of the step gets slowed down, the entire movement gets slowed down. So that way Arjun can communicate to me that we are taking a halftime step instead of a simple time.
Here we have that third element, cunitas or rock steps. And in this case, we're rotating those to give a little more interest to it. And as a practical matter, it actually does give the leader an opportunity to scout the room, what's happening.
Back to our walking, right on that downbeat like we were talking about before. Now here's some nice little traveling traspies that we're doing to notate the repetitive nature of the music.
Oh, catch that. Did you see Tina's little decorative cross behind? Just a quick little thing and then out again to step with me on the next step. In the dance, the leader will set the tone, or tempo, have the big picture in terms of what part of the music we're responding to in terms of how we're moving around the floor. And the follower will often respond to other decorative elements.
We each have our own ability to respond to the pieces of the music that we want to, as long as it doesn't disrupt what's going on between the partnership. So again, Arjun is using rotation here to take some really simple side together backward steps and turn them into something that looks more visually interesting. I like the starting off counterclockwise and then reversing that cunita into clockwise movement. Again, using rotation laid on top of some basic movements can give you a lot of depth to your dancing.
You hear that chun, 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 chun. However, our movements are slower than that. We're responding to that violin over the top.
And if you notice, what I liked was you actually played a little bit with the fast rhythm starting off, and then on that third step slowed down. So once you've committed to a rhythm, doesn't mean you have to stick with it. You can do just a few steps in that rhythm, and then again, giving the proper communication to your partner, you can slow it down or speed it up to reflect the changes, the highs and the lows that's going on. Even just simple movements like that, when it's laid on top of the music, right, can feel really nicely connected. So did you notice how we took that moment to readjust our connection? Mine was a little bit more obvious, but if you pay attention, you can see Arjun readjust his connection as well. And we want you to feel comfortable to reconnect, readjust that embrace as needed. This is a very common thing in the Argentine tango, and we just use it almost like a yawn in the middle of our dance, but more to reconnect and to kind of get settled back into that embrace, right? It's nice. So don't ever be afraid that, oh, I'm stuck in a position that I don't like. That's fine. Fix it.
Right. Oh, this is nice. Nice foot styling, Tina.
Thanks. So if you notice just a little bit of articulation with the ankle and going to the heel as opposed to a flat foot or a pointed foot can give a simple movement a totally different look.
A nice
Nicely
ending with the music. We pointed out how important that is to show a knowledge of the music. You might notice too, the movements just before the ending were rather simple. I knew, both from experience and because I could hear the music coming to a crescendo, that the end was near. So I didn't want to get involved in any kind of elaborate movement that would prevent us
Yes.
from being able to end together with the music.
So we hope that you have enjoyed exploring the range of possibilities for our Weight Changes Interrupted along with us. We look forward to what creative things that you come up with using your Weight Changes Interrupted within your practice. Until then, abrazos.